Katniss and Peter's friendship and relationship developing and catching fire. Specifically their day on the roof before they go into the Quarter Quell. And they do have this in deleted scenes, but I can see why they deleted it because it could have been done a lot better. Peter losing his leg after the first Hunger Games. A part of me understands logistically why it would have been hard to have Peter not have a leg. But another part of me is like, how hard is it really? I think it would have been a really good reminder of the physical and permanent scars that these kids have to endure after the Hunger Games. I also think it would have been really cool to see a love interest in a major franchise lose his leg and have to deal with the ramifications of that. Finnick and Katniss pranking Peter in Catching Fire. This scene would purely be fan service, but I am that fan that it would be servicing, because the games are so dark and there are so few light moments in the entire series. I think I realized that there are only 3 really truly happy scenes in the entire series. The first is in Catching Fire when Katniss and Peter are talking on the train, and they joke about what your favourite colour is, and they start to get to know each other a bit more. The second is Finnick and Annie's wedding in Mockingjay, and even then that's tinged with the dread of what's coming. And the final one is the Epilog. And so I think having Finnick and Katniss, who have been at such odds with each other the entire games, band together to prank Peter is just such needed comic relief and so sweet. And something so innocent to remind you that at the end of the day, these are just kids. And yes, Finnick is 24 in the Quarter Quell, but that is still so young. And Katniss and Peter are only 17. That, and I think it would have been a really funny scene. And the final one is one I really, really wish that they could have included somehow. And that is Katniss and Joanna becoming friends in Mockingjay. And more specifically, there's a scene in the Book of Mockingjay where Katniss and Joanna each have to go through their individual trials to see whether they pass the test to become a part of the troupe. And this trial examines their greatest weakness. And Katniss passes her trial because she realised that her greatest weakness is not being able to follow orders. Whereas in Joanna's trial, she is essentially flooded. And this is part of the torture that the Capitol used when she was captured by them. They would douse her in water and then electrocute her. And so Joanna fails her trial. And when Katniss finds this out, she goes outside and she collects some pine cones, and then she goes to see Joanna and she gives them to her. And it's something so sweet because Katniss knows that pine cones will remind Joanna of home. And she knows deep down that though they're technically safe in District 13, they're not home. And I also think it's rare that we get moments of Katniss caring for people other than Peter and Prim. But Katniss and Joanna form an organic and sweet friendship in the book. And I wish that could have been portrayed, specifically the scene with the pine cones.